one of the highest leverage activities that you can do to defend your business as well as get more clients at the same time is to create long form content. YouTube videos is a very typical term that you can then go around and use as a way to generate more content. There's a very common term right now. It's called a flywheel effect. You do one thing and that one thing goes and carries on a bajillion different times. So one of the best ways that you can really stand out and really win in today's marketplace is by creating long form content that you then cut up a bajillion different ways into small form content. And in this video, I'm going to kind of show you what it looks like. So hi, my name is Kajana. I run an org called Powered by Aloha. And what we do is we scale companies. The way that we do that is we identify the bottleneck, stopping them from growing. We solve said bottleneck, and then we scale it the next day. Obviously, it could take weeks to actually achieve it. But our entire process is like there are bottlenecks that need to be solved. You find the bottleneck, you eliminate the bottleneck, and then you grow the business until you run to the next bottleneck, and then you solve that bottleneck, and then you scale, and then till you find the next, and you just go through this process over and over and over again until you give up or you die, and that's just kind of the entire game. So we like to help businesses, typically in the $1 to $3 million range, but we have smaller businesses, we have larger businesses, to eliminate that bottleneck. And the reason I like the $1 to $3 million range is because typically right there, you're making enough money that you're able to, actually see yourself taking money home. But you're typically not making so much money that you are able to hire on decision makers, aka smart people who can make decisions on your behalf, who can then continue to grow the company. Typically around that range, you're able to hire implementers, people who do stuff for you, but not people who can make decisions, 80% as accurately as often as you do on your behalf, which is why I like the 1.2 to 3, because typically very small tweaks, you can get really big leverage. We're talking like an increase of like $500, $700, $900,000 just by making some very small tweaks in the existing business model that allows you to get the cash that you need to then hire on someone who can make decisions for you and then continue scaling them. But anyways, I digress. That was not the point of this video. Today we're talking about one of my favorite automations that I've ever made in order to really grow a business and to get as much visibility as possible, as well as creating defensibility around your business, which is the content flywheel. So first, bit of context. So since like 2012, I think is when YouTube came out, or maybe 2010. I can't remember. It was one of them. I was a kid. I have no idea. But anyways, YouTube has always been one of the best platforms for growing an audience and getting people to buy, because YouTube is long form content. It's like TV, right? Maybe you never connected this, and it took me a while to understand this actually, is like television, tube, your television, your channel. I know that might be too much, but the thing with YouTube that makes it so interesting is YouTube allows you, you could make short form content, but it really makes the opportunity for long form content where you can really choose through concepts and ideas and opportunities that people can follow along with. Now, on one hand, we have our creator network, people who are like entertaining and they are funny, or they are smart, or they are good looking, or they have unique skills, or they whatever that make content, which is, if maybe this could apply to you if you're in that category, that's cool, but chances are you're not in that category. You fall onto the education side, showing people why you are smart, know, like, trust, why you're interesting, why your case studies are the best, so on and so forth. So in this video, I want to talk about that kind of person. So the content flywheel, which I'll first show you on the nerdy side, because maybe you're like a nerdy nerd like I am, and you want to see the mechanism behind said thing. So right now we are in a platform called N8N. Basically, it's a no-code builder that allows you to develop automations and workflows that connect pieces of technology. It's not very new. Not new at all, actually. It's been around for a while. It's not very fancy. It's a bit technical if you're not a very technically savvy person. But basically everything works in JSON scripts, which is basically just a format of communications that technology uses that you can use to create different things. Now, with that being said, when I come in and I look at this, basically our entire flow, oh man, I can't use the key that I need in order to make it go smaller. Because if I do that, you see it kind of, maybe I'll do it this way. It's better than nothing. So basically what happens is whenever a new YouTube video gets posted, we then take it, we process it, we clean it up. We then take it and process it and clean it up again. We then use that to spin out short form videos that are used to a technology called Visor. You could use Opus if you want. We like Visor better. Then it goes and creates copy and all these things. Now, at the end of this, the final output is we take one YouTube video. So we have one client here, Jacqueline Mendoza, BT Dubs, quick plug. If you make more than $500,000 as a business owner, and you want to save $100,000 up to like tens of millions of dollars in taxes, Jacqueline is the person to talk to. I'll drop that down below. She's kind of a big deal. She doesn't tell people, but she's kind of a big deal. Anyways, What she does is every week she will drop a new YouTube video. And it's not like these YouTube videos get hundreds of millions of views. They get like 200 views, 20 views. These are testimonials, so they don't count. 38 views, 100 views. Like, these are very, very small numbers. But all she's doing is she's walking through the process of her strategies and her case studies and how she does things. And that's it. Now, a quick side note is we do use these videos in her sales process. So a huge win opportunity if you're watching this. After you take a sales call and you talk to someone and they don't buy, more often than not, the questions they have are things that you can answer. You're just unable to answer in the time frame of the call. So by simply having these longer format videos, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 30 minutes, that really break down and explain how something works, after a call is done, you can just grab that video, send it over to that prospect and be like, hey, John, I know that you're interested, not a good time. You had a question around, in the case of Jacqueline, how is it legal that we can convert you from an S Corp into a C Corp to save your taxes and take you down from 37% to 21%. Well, I actually made a video on it. Go ahead and check it out. Because now you have these long form pieces of content that you can use as sales tools that you can then send, but I digress from the content flywheel. So let's go back into that. So what we do is we take this video and then we run it through our automation, this very probably intimidating looking thing, but it's actually very chill. We run it through this, and what it does is it creates for us insane amounts of content automatically. So if you look at here, Jacqueline, we have all these short form videos, things you can't see. We have these tweets that we make. We have these carousels that we make. You can't tell it's a carousel, so let me click on it to show you. Oh, that's awkward. Why is it not carouseling? Right, carousels, right? That one video makes carousels. It makes short form videos. If we go to her LinkedIn, it makes these long form well, I don't want to do all of this. It makes these long form posts. And what we do is we simply take all that information and we put it across every major channel that's possible. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, right? If I go to her, back to her YouTube channel, I go to her Shorts. We have these Shorts, the exact same content that was on Instagram. That's the exact, that's written content, so that one isn't really the same. That's unique to LinkedIn and Facebook. But we have the exact same content on her LinkedIn channel as her TikTok. But when we look at it this way, you can now see TikTok, we're getting 200, 140, 112, 134, 151. But then we go to Instagram, same pieces of content. Well, I can't see it in this view. Let's go into Reels view. 270, 242, 262, 250, 267. And then, I can't see it on top of LinkedIn. They don't show that kind of data. But then I go into YouTube Shorts. 140, 130, 37, 88, 95. We have all of this, the same pieces of content that's being used. We were able to get, like, all over the internet, 850 views back. Okay. But if you can see that, we were able to take the one piece of content on YouTube that had 200, 150 views, but then we chop it up and split it across 5 social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, and we were able to get an average of 100, 200 views. We basically just got 5x the eyeballs without fundamentally doing anything different. And if we factor in that we were able to get, typically on one video, we were able to get anywhere from 10 to 40 shorts. We typically do 10 tweets, we do 3 carousels, we do 3 promo emails to her email list. we do 3 long-form copies and we do 1 blog post from 1 long-form video, we were essentially able to 10x, 12x, 15, 20x the number of eyeballs that we are getting, as well as warming up our existing eyeballs by simply taking the same piece of content and distributing it everywhere. Now, the reason I think this is so valuable, like really and truly, is 2 reasons. One is, if we're looking at it from a YouTube perspective, right? In a world where everything can be AI, because I mean, how much AI slap have you seen on Instagram and TikTok and all this stuff? It's really hard to make a long form YouTube content that's AI. I mean, the models get better every day, and I would imagine today's August 1st, 2026. I would imagine by the time we get into like January of 2027, you could probably have a really good long form 10-minute creator on LinkedIn, not LinkedIn, sorry, on an LLM model, Claude, chat, whatever, that can do long form content. But right now, that is not the case. So there's still a level of like defensibility that exists there, because you can't get AI to make a 10 or 20 minute, 30-minute video with your expertise. So that's already one thing that immediately sets you apart by having that long form content. But the other side of that is, if you then take that content and you can use it, like an example I said earlier, where we use it as a sales tool, we are now able to extend the shelf life of that content to help you make more money directly, right? Leads, traffic, sales, delivery. Versus if we are then able to take that piece of content and make it into an additional 50 pieces of content that you can then run all over the internet in all these ways, shapes, and forms, then we were able to generate even more and more and more and more and more and more visibility. Then, quick side note, what we do is, if we take a piece of content, we run it, 7 days later we go and look at it. Every 7 weeks we look at the performance of the content over the course of a month. So for example, if I release a piece of content today, then today's August 1st. If I release it today, on August 8th, I will see how it performed. And then I will also go look again on August 15th and 22nd. Anything that does really well organically is only going to do better if you run media dollars behind it. So we take the top performing creative, we then turn them into ads, and we run them as ads to get more eyeballs in, as well as using them as ads to get people into the funnels. It becomes a great way to see, what actually gets people to pay attention and how to generate more leads inside of your business. So all that to say, if you are like a coach, consultant, if you do some kind of professional service, if you do some kind of home service where you can demonstrate what you do, like demonstrate how smart you are, your proprietary frameworks and methodologies, you can make 1 long-form video even once a month. You take that, you cut it up, you now have 50 pieces of content, tweets, carousels, promo emails, short form videos, that long form copy, blog posts for AEO and GEO, AEO and GEO being AI fueled search engine, AE being AI engine optimization is one argument. The other argument is generative engine optimization, but digressing, get very technical in that explanation. But you can use those and you can essentially 50x the number of opportunities you get for people to know about your business. Now, with that being said, the question is always like, oh, how many more leads will I get? Well, obviously I have no idea because I don't know your business. But in the case of Jacqueline, from all of the content we put out, which again is 1 long-form video a week is what she does, and the team takes it up, chops it up, and then spreads it all over the place, she generates 9 inbound leads a week just from content. Like, that's fucking insane. That's a ton of people who inquire about her services. No, don't get me wrong. Not all 9 are qualified. We qualify like 4 out of the 9. So that means on this one change, which, takes her VA team, like, I don't know, probably like 10 hours a week to make and then schedule all this content, she's generating approximately 16 qualified sales opportunities per month by doing this. Now, I can't say the same will be for you. Obviously, things like how frequently you're doing, how good is your content, how good is your offer, do you know what you're talking about, all that kind of stuff. I don't know about any of those things. But if we think of it from the perspective of one of the biggest choke or bottlenecks rather that exist in small businesses is people just don't get enough leads coming in. What's one of the most direct ways to get more leads? More content. What's a direct way to get more content? You create long form videos. You then cut down 1,000,000 times, 50 to be more specific, in order to generate content. Boom, super easy way. So with that being said, unlike my other videos where I say, hey, let's book a call, I can actually just show you the content flywheel for free. We actually have a demo version of it. Down below, we have a link. You click the link on the page. It'll ask you to submit one of your YouTube videos and your email so we can deliver all the assets to you. Go ahead and submit that. Give it a try. Let me show you. Not let me show you. Let the automation show you how effective it is to generate all this content and we'll just give it. You can take it and use it whatever the fuck you want. I do not care. It is yours to keep. But it's 100% free. You can give it a go. So with that being said, again, one of my favorite automations of all time is the content flywheel. Because even in the case of my business, right, Powered by Aloha, we take these videos and we chop them up a million ways and we just put them all over the internet. And from a direct result of that on my Instagram, which I actually can't show you because I'm not logged into my computer, is 2 weeks ago, we had less than 10 people looking at our Instagram because we did not post any content. By just flipping and turning this system on where I make one video, now I make a lot of videos. My target's to get to 3 to 4 every single week because I primarily use them as sales tools. After I have sales calls, I send them over to people. Hey, here's a case study of something that we did, and I explain what happened because I'm in private equity. I can't really talk about a lot of things or like have testimonials and stuff like that. So I have to do case studies. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah, on our Instagram. So if I were to go to our Instagram right now, in the course of 2 weeks, from zero content and 10 views a week, we are now at 1,800 views every single week by just taking these videos that I made and posting them on Instagram and TikTok and LinkedIn. I had 3 people I've not spoken to in years see my content on LinkedIn. They reached out to me. 2 of them want to work with us. I have our YouTube Shorts. Well, that's not really doing much right now, but that doesn't really matter. Also, TikTok, we don't do anything. Meta on our Facebook. I have people who I haven't talked to in years. Like, dude, I've been seeing all your content. Like, let's catch up. How are things going? I haven't done anything other than just take this long form video and then it gets chopped up by this automation that I showed you, which I'll show you one more time because I'm actually quite proud of this automation. Very cool. And then we just put it all over the internet. It's like one of the highest leverage activities I have. So now I know that when I make a YouTube video, I am able to take that YouTube video and have it be, 50x the number of the amount of value that it provides for my business simply by taking it and cutting up 50 times and then posting it across 5 platforms where I'm currently posting 2 times a day to just grow as much as possible in that time frame. So yeah, so with that being said, if you make long form videos, whether it be YouTube or not, I would love to give you a free demo. Go ahead, click below. We have a link. You submit your email. You submit your the link to your video. It will run the process and turn you over as many short form videos as possible. 10 tweets, 3 long form videos, 3 long form pieces of copy like LinkedIn content, 3 emails, 3 carousels, 1 blog post, all for free. Give it a go. So with that, thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you on the internet later.